Hello everyone, this is John McCormick. I'm the Director of E-Learning Design. I work for E-Learning Instructional Support, and my role is to work with a small group that guides instructors in developing online and hybrid courses and in preparing to teach online. This purpose of this video is to show an example of a very basic course structure to create in Blackboard to guide students and to post content. I'm not showing you all the details on how to build it. I'll speak a bit about facilitating an online course, but my focus here is on the course structure in this video. So here I've built out only a very small portion to keep this simple, just enough to get an idea of course structure that could be used in this kind of situation. Many more examples and supports will be provided from us and from other experienced online instructors as we move forward. So there are three areas I want to focus on to create structure, and I'll just name those and then show you. The weekly agenda, weekly folders, and then this announcements page that we're on now. The agenda and weekly folders can be pre-built. The announcements are generally for facilitation during the course, but that can help guide students through those other two pre-built areas. So first, I'm just going to mention the menu on the left has some areas we'll look at: announcements, syllabus, weekly course content. We might touch on these areas a little bit. Also over on the right is where you can toggle on from the edit mode, so you can add and edit this environment, and off so you can see what it looks like, maybe more just for students. So I'm going to put that on, and I'm going to skip the announcements page and go to the weekly course content, where I've put two of those elements. They could be put elsewhere, the weekly agenda, for example. So these are folders. I've put the weekly agenda in one folder, and then I've created two other folders, one for each week, that have the dates of Monday through Sunday, which is typically how online courses run. They often have due days of Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday night, at a minimum 2 due days. You might create folders that run over more than 1 week. But let's look at the weekly agenda. This is very, very skeletal, just to show you the structure. So starting with week 8, which I think is about where we might start, with the date first, the week second. It is important to have the weeks so you can align that number quickly with the folder. The only things I've really put in here are a couple of assignments, graded assignments. I'd say that's a minimum thing that you want to put in an agenda, is which assignments are graded, but you might put much more. I wouldn't put too much detail, so this becomes a long scrolling page or document. You can put some of that stuff either in an announcement or maybe more likely in a weekly folder. So what I put here first is 1 week we have a discussion. We might put a descriptive title here for the discussion, and 2 due days, Thursday, Sunday. Sunday would be for responses. For something that requires interaction asynchronously, you need more than 1 due day. And then in week 9, I put a short paper, which is due Sunday at the end of the week. We usually say 11:59 p.m. or midnight. So that's the course agenda. Also, you could attach one as a document alternately. It might be a little harder to update. By the way, this item inside of this folder is used when building content. That's an item. This would be a folder. So backing out again, you would create, the rest of the weeks here eventually. You might work on the first weeks initially, and then your weeks might get more detailed later. So to look into a week, what I've done here in this folder is create a few items that are Blackboard items. You could also add other documents such as PowerPoints, videos, whatnot, custom content. What I've done here is put an overview. This isn't a bad idea. If you could have reviewed each module, you could also do that via the announcements tool in real time. I've added a discussion which would link to the discussion board area. I'll just click on it. You can see it goes to the forum in week 8. I'm going back to that week. So I've added what's called an assignment tool, where students can upload documents, files that you can then grade. I'm just clicking on that to show from the student's perspective. They can then attach a file to that, which you'll get. So that assignment tool, is added here. So there are a few things you'd want to look up in here: assignments tool, discussion board, perhaps journal, item, and folder. Maybe a few other things, not a lot. And finally, what I've added here is just a web link, and that's in that set of tools I just showed you. So the web link is going to open a new window, and there's an article on going online in a hurry. So that's a structure of one module. It's an example. You can put all of your content in the weekly folder, and together with the agenda, and then the announcements, which we'll go to next, is a way you can guide students to the structure of a course. Announcements added here. It's important to note this. I'll just click the edit. This will look the same as adding a new announcement. There's a title and some directions here. You'll want to make sure that you always email the announcements so students get these in their email and don't have to come necessarily to the site to see this first. One other thing I think I forgot to mention in when you add these kinds of items, you'll want to add at least instructions, what to do, where to do it, and then when to do it, the deadline. That would be useful. Again, you can just refer them to the weekly agenda, though, if you don't do that. The only other thing I might point out here is that technology resources will open a new window in which you or your students can go find out how to use various tools in Blackboard. The course tools, you might want to hide this, which you can do, because it goes to a large list of confusing tools. You can create, as we've done in this template, links to particular tools, as we have here with the discussion board. And you can see the discussion board here that I've added to that example folder. So I think that's it for now. Again, it was to build, in a hurry, a quick structure that you can maybe use as an example to guide your students through the content. I hope everything's going well for you so far. Ellis and our group is here to support you, as well as many instructors at Diane Dorita and others who are gathering together who are experienced, who can also help you in your departments. So thank you for listening. Bye-bye.